Hey guys, so good evening. It's part of our stocks by request. I won't really be able to make this video long because my throat is acting up again, and that's why I'm not in the usual high energy video because I've recorded so many podcasts with several CEOs the past days, and I think it sort of strained my voice. So I won't be able to talk long, but I was actually thinking not to make a video today, but I got so many messages from you guys asking about what's happening in the markets. And I felt that in times where there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of downward movement, I hope that I give you enough insight and value as possible, and that's why I'm forcing myself. That's why I'm forcing my voice to at least somehow push through and finish this because at the end of the day, I do videos like this to give you as much value and content as possible because that's what I want to leave and that's what I want to give the Filipino people that it won't always be up, won't always be good times in the market. There will be times where selling is happening. So in this video, I want to discuss APL, BSC, PHA, OV, FNI, ABA, basically the ones that got sold down today. Then in my other channel, which will most likely come out an hour from now, I'm going to talk about the ones that weren't really sold down today. That's where we're going to have Dito. That's where we're going to have MM. That's where we're going to have maybe pure gold and ASEN. So the normal ones that we talked about prior to this move early this year, we're gonna talk about that later on. So two-part video, but maybe shorter. I'm just gonna try to draw the lines maybe and share bits and pieces of it. I just want to talk about two things before I also plot the videos or the chart. Number one, foreigners are still selling. Number two, so maybe 3 points. Number two, please do note that APL, BSC, PHA, OV, FNI, ABA had a lot of upward price movements the past few days. That's why please remember, and I've been saying this over and over, stocks that move up become a target for people who entered early and want to take profits also. Please remember the name of the game, regardless of where you are from. People are in the market because they want to make money. People are in the market because they want to buy low, sell high. And at the end of the day, the stocks that I've mentioned here, they're not really the ones that you would consider as fundamentally sound. They're not your they're not the companies that you would look at if you want dividends. They're not the companies that you buy today and 20 years from now they're like the SMs. They're not in that category. So why am I saying this? Given that they're not in that category, when a lot of people are satisfied with their gains, they would take profits, and that happens in the market. So the reason why I'm saying that is we can't always think that if it's up and up siya mataas, catch siya lagi. There will come a point where sellers will dominate, and then that's what we're seeing right now, and that's why we're seeing all of this people but not so blue chip, not so robust in terms of their fundamentals. They're the ones that are dropping. They're the ones that get sold down, and this for those who are new and think that why is this happening right now. um, it happens. I've seen so many stocks that are not considered blue chip stocks move up fast, but also in the same way as how fast they move up, they are also pushed down. So, as this is stocks by request, we're gonna answer this all from the lens of technical analysis because, frankly speaking, this the only way I watch stocks, especially for trading, is just looking at it from the lens of technicals. And if you look at the fundamentals of these stocks, it may give you a different story, but you need to have an anchor on what will cause you to buy, sell, hold, or avoid the stock. So I want to start it first with APL because it had one of the largest value turnovers for today as well, and even in the past few days. So value turnover was strong, no? Massive 2.3, almost 2.3 billion, and it dropped 19.77%, meaning there's a large amount of money that changed hands also. Now, if you look at the chart here, right here, the upward trend, as you can see here, is massively intact. 20, 50, 100-day, 200-day moving averages are not yet hit. Then it showed this particular uptrend right here. As you see it, as it started to dip in this particular fashion, look at the chart. It opened at 0.44. then went to as low as 0.305, which is where the upward trending line is. As it hit that line, it pushed up, but it wasn't strong enough for it to close higher, putting it at the close of the 0.345 level. So if I'm going to draw at least a short-term support here, in conjunction to what I saw here, no, this one, I'll just use this as a reference point right here. And I'll also use this upward trending line as a reference point as well. You could draw somehow a shorter and weaker support here. Okay, so should there be a possible bounce in the next day, 2 days, couple of days, this could be its possible trading range. If it doesn't, possible next retracement will be somewhere around here. So please watch out for this for tomorrow. Should selling continue and it pierces below the 0.29 level, its next possible area where it could land is the 0.196 support level, which is supported by this, at least the hesitation that happened here, and the 20-day moving average. So weak support 0.29, that fails to hold. Next support is 0.196. If it bounces off 0.29, resistance is at 0.445. But I just want to mention also that when panic happens kasi, no, or when people just want to get out, that accelerates also, just that accelerates people trying to go out early, and it intensifies the selling pressure. I'm just gonna add I'm, I'm just gonna try to add volume into the mix so that we have perspective also on how it looks. So if you add volume into the mix there, massively high volume as compared to the previous days also. So meaning it gives you a semblance also on how people today transacted, either that some of them are pushing either to want to get out of that particular position. Next stock is BSC. We mentioned BSC as a stock that also had its own share of push-ups. But today, the difference lang no with BSC is I think it moved a bit fast. It did not consolidate a bit. And the problem with stocks when they don't consolidate is the downward strides are somehow longer and stronger too. So if you look at BSC also for the day, it closed at 29.59% down. Value turnover strong at 846,000. And that's why we saw it close at the 1.19 level. Now, looking at it purely from a technical analysis point of view, we have one signal here for RSI dropping, from the overbought levels. That's one in the technical analysis space. This is one signal that is not a bit bullish already. Um, for looking at it from a support and resistance perspective, the previous resistance, you could peg one around here at the 0.357 level. But since it's way off there, one area to watch out for is where the 20-day moving average is, which is at the 0.794 level. So key area to watch for tomorrow at least is this. If that does not hold, then the possible retracement is it could go here to the 50-day moving average. So I just want to point this out to a lot of you. Support is 0.775. Failure to hold the 0.775 level. The next area is zero point 0.5. And I'm saying this right now in the midst of RSI being crossed down. So very, very important, similar to what I've been saying in the previous days, that um, make sure that you follow whatever your sell signals are. And regardless if it's take profit or cut loss, what's the most important is you follow what your plan is. So there. Next stock is PHA. Medyo nawawala na yung boses ko. Sorry. For PHA, I'll remove this first. And just look at RSI and MACD. They haven't. This hasn't really crossed yet. It hasn't fully crossed. RSI hasn't really crossed also, but it's nearing that point already. So mas clear sa PHI, no, because at least for PHA we were able to see a support resistance level here, and prior to the movement today already, you can see it here that it already went lower than the 2.9 level. So the range sana that could have protected it as a support was 2.9, but yesterday nabasag siya. Uh, Yesterday nabasag siya when PHA closed below 2.9. So 2.9 converted itself from a support into a resistance. And for those who have been following my books, seminars, and the videos, as you all know, when a stock fails to hold the support, it becomes a resistance, or in essence, it starts to break down once again. Now, what's interesting about PHA though is similar to the first example that I gave for the day for APL is it it touched this uptrend line, and as it touched the uptrend line, it formed a support level and it started to bounce. So two layers of bounce for PHA is the bounce from this uptrend, and then number two is the bounce from the 20-day moving average. So now let's see if this solidifies itself as a support. If it does, then possible comeback or at least bounce back will be 1.9 support level as evidenced by this uptrend and as evidenced by the 50-day moving average. Then your resistance is at the 2.9 level. So that could be a possible movement. So I'll just plot this for you, that it's somewhere around, you could peg this as somehow your short-term support for at least for PHA. If that does not hold, then your possible retracement is it goes back here to the 1.25 level or somewhere close to where the 50-day moving average is. So currently, your main resistance still is 2.9. Your support level is here, close to the uptrend, close to the 20-day moving average, which is at the 1.89 level. If tomorrow that does not hold, the next possible retracement is 1.255. Sorry, my throat's acting up again. I'll just have to speed this up for OV. This is how it looks here. So OV, same rationale, no. This moved up very fast, and if since it moved up very fast, failed to develop a support, failed to develop an uptrend, the downward push is significantly steeper. If I'll plot a line here, this is its next possible landing spot already. So next support level, it should selling continue, is 0012. That does not hold, then it goes to 008. One thing that I'd like to show you guys is this. Yesterday, here, as you can see, crossed down already from RSI. So even before the downward push today from 0021 opening to 0017 closing, yesterday there was an even bigger downward stride. So you will notice it, no, the difference between BSC, OV versus APL versus PHA is primarily based on yung APL, yung PHA. It developed an uptrend, higher high, higher low. It consolidated a bit, and those consolidations are what have somehow protected it for a bit. But it's not yet out of the woods. When people panic with volume, we have seen markets drop also fast. So I'll update you tomorrow on those particular stocks. And last two stocks for this iteration is FNI and ABA. But before I continue that, and you're new to this, please do note that this is me analyzing the markets from my own style, my own analysis, and my own strategy. Please don't transact or buy just because you hear it here from YouTube or from your friends or anyone else. You have to use your own analysis. You have to rely on your own strategy and never buy just because you hear it from anyone else. It's your money, it's your responsibility. Do not ever trade just because you hear it from a hot tip or a person. You have to build your own skills. You have to train yourself and you have to learn, and that's hard. It requires hard work, but at the end of the day, nothing of significance is done if it's so easy. Because if it's so easy, then everyone would be rich. Ang tunay na kayamanan, ang tunay na pera ay pinaghirapan at pinag-aaralan. So, there. Lastly, last two stocks is FNI. FNI, the uptrend is still pushing higher. It's still right there, as you can see right here, but it has consolidated already since the start of at least December or start end of December. You could put a support line here. You could put a resistance here. So as of today, FNI at the close, no, FNI closed at 2.83, value turnover 465 million. Down 6.6%. It's still above the 2.81 support, but the sell signals, or at least the bearish signals that we have, came number one here, when it crossed the MACD. Number 2, RSI already showed it also as well. But number 3, just to add context to this, is this one. It closed below the 20-day moving average. So if tomorrow uh, FNI continues to fail to go above or hold the 2.81 level, then the possible narrative of where it drops is right here to around 2.334. If it bounces, possible bounce will be at the 3.17 level, and the current short-term sideways progression will still be there. So that's where we are for FNA. And lastly, FNI. Lastly, for Abacor, this is how it is. Um, Today, it just broke below the 1.065 level. It hit the 0.97 intraday and then it bounced a bit. But if you'll allow me to zoom in, this is what you'll see. Current resistance right now is this, the 1.075 level, and current thin support right now is the 0.982 level. So it's so clear that intraday today it hit the 0.982 level, but it bounced, but it wasn't strong enough to make it go above this main resistance here at the 1.069 level. So for tomorrow, thing to watch out for is this. If this holds, if it doesn't, possible retracement is 0.901 to as low as the major support that we have here at the 0.77 mark. If it bounces off, watch out if it breaks past the 1.05 level. If it's not, then we are in for a very, very thin range, meaning there's a shot that there's a shot still that this 0.963 level may not hold long, or there's a shot that over the next few days it gets back here and it gets to trade this particular range. So there, for the video, I hope you guys learned a lot. We've discussed 7 stocks, and if kaya ko pa, in my other channel, we're gonna discuss the stocks that I have not talked about here, which is most likely I want to talk about Dito, ASEN, MM, the ones that you guys have been requesting late into 2020. Then maybe BDO as well, and maybe Pure Gold into the list. If you have not seen it yet, I interviewed the CEO of Shakey's. It's in this channel also. You can just reference it back. I hope you watch it because it's something that um, tells you the heart of the company, tells you the direction, and it's nice to know the fundamentals of the company coming from the leadership as well. So there, for those who want to know more about me, the books that I've published, um, the videos that I created, and everything else in between, and the channels that I have here in YouTube, everything is in the description below. And if you appreciate the effort that I'm doing, hirap ito. I wrote so bad, but that's where commitment is so important. That even if you don't feel like it, you still do it. And that's why I love YouTube, because it forces me to be consistent. It forces me to be disciplined, but it's under the heart that I just want to give as much as I can to all of you. And I just want to inform you and help you as much as possible. So that's it for now. Low energy, low voice, masakit throat, Marvin Germo. Um, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.